Previously, on keeping up with the Kenya Kwanza government.
And if the criminals and people with bad behavior have moved from being manual to the digital space, I want to tell them we will follow you there.
Kenya's Ministry of Interior, led by Principal Secretary for Internal Security Dr. Raymond Omolo, has declared war, not on crime, corruption or economic disparity, but on social media platforms and the millions of Kenyans using them to voice dissent against President William Ruto's regime.
Tumekuja kusindua maneno ya maji. Si mnajua wale wakora wa mtandao kule Nairobi wanapiga kelele wanasema sijui Ruto must go sijui nini. So mlisikia niliambia hawa jana waruke juu, waende chini, waende kando. As anger and criticism against the government continues to dominate online conversations, the ministry has proposed drastic measures to regulate these platforms, forcing social media giants to establish physical offices in Kenya. The rationale? To hold these companies accountable for the rising wave of online discontent targeting the presidency. To ensure responsibility and accountability in the face of rising disinformation, social media manipulation, and online abuse, all social media organizations operating in the country must, mark the word must, establish a physical presence within our jurisdiction, Dr. Omolo stated during a meeting with the telecommunication companies and social media representatives. The announcement, which quickly spread on social media, was met with a mixture of outrage and ridicule. Critics argue that the government's intentions are less about curbing hate speech and incitement and more about stifling freedom of expression. For Kenyans, the idea of physical offices for social media platform is nothing more than a gateway for the government to exert control over online narratives. Kenyans wasted no time pointing out the potential repercussions of this move. If platforms like Twitter or Meta fail to comply with these new demands, they could face suspension, effectively cutting off a vital communication channel for both citizens and the government itself. Ironically, many government officials, including President Ruto, heavily rely on these platforms for public communication and propaganda. Shutting them down would mean silencing their own voices in the process. This is like shooting yourself in the foot, one Kenyan remarked on Twitter. How will the government communicate without the platforms they want to police? And the backlash forced the Ministry of Interior to soften its stance, issuing a second, more conciliatory statement emphasizing collaborations rather than control. They even removed the word must. At the consultative meeting with stakeholders aimed to enhance cybersecurity, promote responsible use of social media platforms, and leverage technology to improve service delivery without curtailing free speech, the ministry clarified. However, the damage was already done and public trust in the government's intentions continues to wane. For instance, this Kenyan noted the second statement, which was edited from the first statement, commenting on the platform saying, "You have edited the original post which expressed the regime's authoritarian tendencies. Cowards." Wow. And he attached this comment with a screenshot of the original post which was edited.
Even the discussion we have here of misuse of the computers and social media and digital space. Thank God we have a cyber laws in this country. And it is very clear. If disorder moved from manual, because we moved from being manual to becoming digital, and if the criminals and people with bad behavior have moved from being manual to the digital space, I want to tell them we will follow you there, because that is where we want to ensure that there is law and order.
This isn't the first time the Kenya Kwanza administration has faced backlash on social media. Since the Gen Z protests of June 25th, 2024, where the streets of Kenya became battlegrounds for frustrated youth, online platforms have become the new frontline for resistance.
That GOK wants social media companies to set up offices locally, okay? Now, when you read Githeri media headlines right now, they've written government orders or sends directive to social media companies to set an office. Now, you need to know how to phrase these headlines, okay? Or give them the proper phrasing, okay? Don't say government orders. They order who? Who are they ordering? Phrase the headline properly, okay? Government has lost the narrative and the information war 100%. Now they are begging social media companies to open offices so that they can engage in human rights violations, okay?
From satirical cartoons and AI-generated parodies of government officials to songs of defiance, Kenyans have turned to creativity and technology to express their dissatisfaction.
Vijana, leo mutaweka viongozi kwa makaburi. Kesho mutaweka wazazi wenu kwa makaburi. Kesho kutwa mutaweka wenzenu, marafiki zenu ama ndugu zenu kwa makaburi. Siku hiyo ingine nyinyi mutaanza mambo ya mauaji. I want to ask you, those who are encouraging young people to continue this trend where they are putting people in coffins, let us be careful so that we don't build a generation that is going to self-destruct.
The government's attempts to silence this digital rebellion have been anything but successful. From abductions of prominent critics to public threats, these efforts have only fueled the fire. Kenyans defiant and resourceful have demonstrated that no amount of intimidation will silence their voices.
Watu wanatukana watu kwa mitandao. Hata mimi nikifungua my WhatsApp, my groups ambazo niko pale, for every 2 comments, every 10 comments, 8 of them ni matusi. Wanatukana vibaya sana. That one needs to change. But if it can't change, people should not be killed because of that. Ama kuwa abducted because of that. Hapana.
Mtu kifanya nini, sheria iko itakubana. Please let us enforce that law to bring about discipline in this country. Wahenga wanasema kwamba, na uzuri niko na mhenga mmoja hapa anaitwa Waziri Joe, tuko naye hapa. Wahenga wanasema asiyefunzwa na mamaye atafunzwa na ulimwengu. Hawa watoto ambao wanaleta shida ni watoto wako majumbani kwetu. Wewe kama mzazi ukishindwa, ulimwengu hautashindwa. Na ulimwengu ukimwandama mtoto wako, usio wa kwanza kupiga mayowe. Manake tuko tayari kudumisha demokrasia, lakini hatuko tayari kudumisha utovu wa nidhamu.
For many, the ministry's latest move is a thinly veiled attempt to curtail free speech under the guise of combating cybercrime. By demanding the physical presence of social media companies, the government hopes to exact influence over what content is allowed and what is not. Critics fear this could lead to censorship, surveillance, and even shutdown of dissenting voices. I really don't know whether the government will manage, to quell all these dissent on social media. What are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. That is it for now. Thanks for watching. Let's meet next time. Bye bye.